The final episode of Season 2 of Dragon Maid went out with the best bang possible. And, I mean, last week I was talking about my ideas of how they might end it. Fireworks, festivals, those kind of are like the sweet bow to tie up a season like this. So to me, it's no real surprise that they had a majority of the episode in that traditional closing anime fashion. But it's not like Dragon Maid did just the typical. Everyone, because it's just such a natural closing point, you get to see all the characters with their respective love interests or friends and seeing how far they've come and seeing how, it's on one hand a little sad that half of these pairings, won't be able to spend the same amount of length together, one being dragon, one being human, but to them, the time limit doesn't matter, it's the time they get to spend together. It's just so great to see all that, but then you get the marriage at the end, which, yes, we don't get I love you from Kobayashi, but it's very much implied at this point. I've never really been on the camp of like, oh, I quote-unquote ship them. More so, Kobayashi's a hard character to read. I think this was truly the first point that really sells it on me that, yeah, they definitely belong together because Toru's clingy. A lot of these characters are clingy. I mean, they kind of joke about it, how like all the dragons want to be with Kobayashi forever. But I think at this point, given the fact that she was jealous and, feeling unworthy of Toru's love, it's clear how they feel, and that's definitely an endgame sort of thing, which, I mean, unlike most relationships in anime where, the series ends once they're finally officially together, I think it'd be okay in Dragon Maid's case because they essentially kind of are together. It's just there isn't kissing and as much physical attention on one side as there is on the other, but it's not like we didn't get to spend a story with them together sort of a thing. I just found this to be a very charming finale. If there was one character, I guess you could say left, that needed maybe a bit more of a push, Kobayashi makes sense. I've been on the camp saying that I would love like one more big Alulu moment, but truthfully, from her introduction all the way to the home stretch, she's had a great character arc for being introduced in this season, and all the characters that carried over from Season 1 also got to be continued. I mean, I'm still shocked that we got Fafnir content, I gotta be honest with you. So to see, tying it up with the main star, that being Kobayashi herself, makes total sense to me. And it's not like it was only a focus on them, like everyone kind of got their chance. Alulu with, most likely future husband, if I'm being completely honest, the idea of her feeling like she gets to be a kid, but she also gets to teach him what it's like to be an adult. And I'm like, oh god, KyoAni, with the way you did that face, we know exactly what you're implying. And just to see, like, Kana, I mean, probably the most, like, usually when this kid goes, like, absolutely to the moon, we get some hearts and an exaggerated head. I swear to God, she entered the spirit realm when, Kana was talking the way that she was. It was just so nice to get all those individual pairings, and I think that's what makes, fireworks or festivals just so great, New Year's, those types of episodes, because there's no better way, especially at, like, a second season, I find. Like, sometimes you see it at the end of the first seasons, but there's a lot more times where a second season comes around, because you're bringing everyone together. It's almost like the conclusion, but there's still more left to tell. And, I mean, it's a matter of time before Season 3. It's not a matter of if. I definitely believe there'll be a Season 3. KyoAni has definitely come back strong. And KyoAni is definitely a quality over quantity studio. It probably won't happen next year. Might not even happen the year after that, but it will happen. I am fully convinced on that fact, and I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest if, once again, Dragon Maid's following in line with all the other anime this season, getting a movie, then eventually getting a Season 3, right? It's gonna happen. I really think, though, the wedding and just, like, the idea of what's normally seen as cherry blossoms, but I guess the skin, which is a little morbid, but you gotta leave it to Dragon Maid, was probably one of, I think, the most standout points of the series. You start with the traditional, oh, it's cute, it's fun, it's beautiful looking, some of the best scenery Dragon Maid has had to date. But then you get the arm wrestling, right? Seeing all the different characters compete. One guy almost losing his arm, it felt like, and then you have Kana pretty much cheating and then ending up losing. At first, when they were directing that, I actually thought that Kana won because, she let her win because she's a child. No, it was a massive defeat because of just the cheating, and I completely loved that. But to see, like, the escalation and rivalries, the fact that our girl literally bribed this poor boy with his wildest imaginations to distract her, because clearly, sound like Toru wouldn't have won in a traditional fight. But hey, a winner's a winner, even if you take a couple of low blows. It is Dragon Maid. We always have to be on our tippy toes around these pesky dragons. But I thought the wedding scene was really great, and I honestly thought they were going to commit to an I love you. It just felt like from the fireworks alone, like we were building up to that moment. So to have like the transformation, and it was cute. And I think rather than it feeling like, oh man, this was the perfect opportunity, there's never going to be a better one. I mean, she admitted that she felt like she didn't deserve Toru. She admitted that she's jealous and she wants to be around her. It's not like there wasn't development. She kind of has a thick skull. It's going to be very difficult for her to ever admit that. So I think ending it in a humorous fashion is better than ending it in a romantic fashion, because ending in a romantic fashion to me feels more endgame than end of season 2, right? Because part of the charm is Toru and Kobayashi not being able to admit her true feelings. If you remove that early, where do you go next? And yeah, you could have a normal relationship, but part of the charm of Dragon Maid is the unnaturalness of it, but how everyone clearly has their mind and feeling set on something, even if they can't admit to it at face value. It will be really interesting to see where a season 3 will definitely take us, because really, I imagine it'll be kind of similar. I believe the fireworks in this festival actually happened earlier in the manga, and if that's true, makes total sense to rearrange it to have it at the end. So I wouldn't be surprised if season 3 continues on KyoAni's direction of picking and choosing the content and crafting a perfect season, because really, every character got spotlight, even brand new ones. And truthfully, this show shouldn't have worked as well as it did by introducing a brand new character who normally would just be there to sell body pillows and figures, but ended up being, I think, one of the best aspects of Dragon Maid, period. And I would probably argue Alulu was the best part of, new part of the season, because seriously, I still can't get over how good her character arc actually was about, someone not being able to be a kid around humans and now gets a second chance at that. Which is why I always love her scenes with Kana, because Kana gets to grow up in a way that someone like Lulu always wanted, so now she's kind of getting that second chance, which is just completely fantastic. It was romantic, it was funny, it was just a production gem. This show, really, KyoAni came back swinging, and you love to see it because before the travesty, KyoAni was an absolute beast and a staple of the industry. It'll be interesting to see where they want to take Dragon Maid and their other projects going forward, and what new projects we might see of them as well, because it's not like they're a one-shot studio. They get one big hit and we call it quits. No, if KyoAni's pumping something out, I think most people are going to have their eyes on it, even if it isn't necessarily for them. Fantastic ending. Fantastic season. I eagerly await season 3 or a movie or whatever else they announce next, and it's going to be fantastic. And yeah, season 1 was damn perfect, I thought, and then season 2 showed me there's always room to improve Dragon Maid, and KyoAni knows how to adapt for sure. Thoughts and feelings, favorite point of the episode, and hell, favorite point of the season if you have one. Let me know down below, leave a like if you enjoy, and subscribe if you're new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.